What is up, guys? It is me, exactly, and I'm back. Look, I told you guys yesterday when I made that rant video or first reactions video to the trade that I'd be coming back today with a more in-depth, analysis or talking about the trade more in-depth, more structured stuff like that. I have been thinking about this all night long. I swear I was thinking about this in my sleep. Like, you guys ever get the feeling that you can control your dreams sometimes? That's how I was last night. I don't even remember what I was dreaming about, but I just feel like it was about this trade. I woke up first thing this morning and that's what I was thinking about, this trade. It's been on my mind non-stop, and I just gotta share with you guys why I'm excited about this trade, why this is like the best thing that could have ever happened to the NBA. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, it's been a long time since I've been this excited about waking up and making a video, mainly because the NBA has been so freaking dry for like the past month. This video right here though is getting me hype. I'm gonna need like all of you right now to smack the like button just because you guys don't even need a reason, just do it. But just in case you guys have been living under a rock real quick, here's the trade, here's what went down in case you don't know. Kyrie Irving was just traded to the Boston Celtics last night for Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, the rights to Brooklyn's 2018 first round pick, and Ante Zizic, the biggest trade of the offseason in my opinion. And the initial reactions to everyone of this trade is that the Cleveland Cavaliers won. And I'm gonna be honest, just looking at it on paper, if that's all you do, it kinda does look like that. The Cavs got the best player in this trade in Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was a little bit better than Kyrie Irving was last year, so they got the best player. Anytime you get the best player and you get a lot more on top of that, of course it's gonna look like you won the trade. Other than Isaiah Thomas, they got the Brooklyn pick, gonna be a top 5 pick in a draft where at least the top 5 is supposed to be really good. They got Jay Crowder, who comes in and immediately becomes their best 3-and-D player. He will be a huge upgrade than anything they had coming off the bench, besides of course Derrick Rose that they just signed. And then they also got Ante Zizic, a young big man who will also be the best big man they have coming off the bench as well, so that's another W. So people are saying the Cavs took the W in this trade, but that means that they're handing the Boston Celtics the L, but I'm not even gonna do that. If I had to compare this trade to something, it would be like a really freaking good game. You know when you watch a game and it's just like amazing, regardless of what team wins, you don't care because it was such a great game? That's what this trade is like to me. If you think about it, Boston traded Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie Irving because they had no intentions of bringing back Isaiah Thomas this year. He's gonna be a free agent. They weren't gonna bring him back, so they're like, you know what? Let's trade him for another elite point guard that kind of matches up with the time frame of our other young pieces. Isaiah Thomas is like 28, Kyrie Irving's like 25. So they shed 3 years in age. Got a player that is still on the rise, that is still gonna continue to get better. And then of course they had to give up the draft picks, Jay Crowder and other people as well, because the Cavs wouldn't have done that straight up. Cavs didn't do this trade because they wanted Isaiah Thomas. They'll take Isaiah Thomas for the year, but the main thing they wanted was that draft pick. They're looking to get younger. They're looking for life after LeBron James. If the Celtics called offering Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie Irving straight up, there would have been no discussion. Even if Isaiah Thomas is the better player right now, he is still just a 1-year rental since he will be a free agent next summer. The Cavs know LeBron is about to dip in 2018, and if he's out the picture, then you can for sure bet that Isaiah Thomas is out the picture as well. So Thomas was more of just a throw-in in this trade, so the Cavs of course can remain competitive, and also so the contracts can match up, because if not, Boston would not have been able to do this trade. So that's my opinion and take on the whole who won this trade thing, since that's always the first question that people want to ask after a huge trade like this goes down. Today though, what I want to talk about isn't that. Instead, I want to talk about why this trade was the best thing that could have ever happened to the NBA. Maybe not ever, but it's the best thing that could have happened for next season and maybe going into the future as well. To start this off, I gotta ask you guys a question. Before this trade went down, how many of you guys were actually excited for the Eastern Conference playoffs this year? Answer that honestly. How many of you guys were looking forward to seeing the Cavaliers have another cakewalk for the 4th year in a row to the NBA Finals? I'll tell you what, leave a like on this video if you weren't looking forward to that. Now let me chill. I gotta chill out with the whole like thing. I'm just having fun though. I'm just having a lot of fun this video. And right now, I know some of you guys are thinking to yourselves, but SDC, the Celtics got Gordon Hayward this summer. They were gonna give the Cavs a better fight than they did last year. All right. Okay, yeah, sure. Look, we all know what the outcome was still gonna be. Cavs in 6 at the most. There wouldn't have been much excitement to that series at all, especially if you compare it to whatever slugfest was being held over in the Western Conference, where it'd be Golden State versus either San Antonio or Houston, or maybe even OKC or Minnesota. That series would have been a billion times more entertaining than the Cavs versus the Celtics. One series would have been hype, and the other series was like, I mean, I don't think I'm doing anything else. So is there any other game? No, there's no other games on, so I guess I'll watch this, but it's whatever. Wasn't nobody looking forward to that. Now with this trade though, now that Isaiah Thomas is on the Cavaliers and Kyrie Irving is on the Boston Celtics, I am really looking forward to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm gonna say it, I'm looking forward to the Eastern Conference Finals even more than the Western Conference Finals, as crazy as that sounds. And it's not even because I expect the Celtics to win anything. The Cavs are still the heavy favorites to win. This trade made the Cleveland Cavaliers even better. The Cavaliers were still already better than the Celtics, so I don't see how this could change the outcome of the series. But the reason I'm excited for this is because it will be the first time since like 2013 when the Pacers challenged the Heat that there was any type of animosity. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, animosity in the Eastern Conference playoffs, in the Eastern Conference Finals especially. How many of you guys remember that? Back when the Pacers were challenging the Heat, that was a really great series to watch. I always look forward to that. Why? Not because anyone thought the Pacers were gonna win. No one thought the Pacers were going to win. It was because you could always expect a great series regardless that you knew the Heat were going to win. The Heat were the reigning champions of the Eastern Conference back then. They had the crown. The Pacers were the upcomers. They wanted that crown, and it was always nice to see the Pacers try and fight for that crown. Kind of like the Boston Celtics were back in the 80s, where they were the kings of the Eastern Conference, and then you had a team like the Pistons, the upcoming team that were always challenging the Celtics. Going into the series, people always thought the Celtics were going to win, but it was always a great series to watch. That's the thing that has been missing from the Eastern Conference playoffs for so long, well, not for so long, since like 3 or 4 years, but it felt like forever. The Celtics-Cavs series this year will have that type of feeling to it just because Isaiah Thomas and Kyrie Irving switched teams. Isaiah Thomas is going to want to prove himself against the team that just traded him, and Kyrie Irving is going to want to prove himself to the Cavaliers that he is better than he could have been playing under LeBron James. So even though you know the Cavs are most likely going to win, you are still going to be excited to watch every single game. And if you think about it, it's no different in the Western Conference. The Golden State Warriors are still the heavy favorites, yet people are still excited to see how the other teams stack up against them. It's almost the same thing. And this excitement is just something that you couldn't say about the playoffs at all really last year. They were predictable, they were boring. Blowout after blowout after blowout. Heck, even the close games felt like blowouts. I'll even say it, the game the Boston Celtics won versus the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't know why they won, but I still feel like they took the L that game. It might just have something to do with when they lost by nearly 50 points, that the rules say once you lose by 50 points in a playoff series, every game you play after that automatically has an L attached. I don't know if that makes you feel some type of way. Don't be upset with me, be upset with the people that made the rules. I'm just letting you know what they are. But that's the first reason why this trade was great for the NBA. The next reason is kind of similar, but it has more to do with the Cavs versus the Warriors. The NBA Finals will also be a lot more exciting to watch now. I was not looking forward to yet another Cleveland versus Golden State Finals matchup. I did not want that to happen. I didn't see the point of another Cleveland versus Golden State Finals matchup. The Cavs got mollywopped in the finals last year. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. It's not up for discussion. There is no excuses you can make. The Cavs got absolutely destroyed in the finals last year. Before this trade, when the Cavs made it back to the Western Conference Finals, even though they added Derrick Rose, I just don't see what the heck the point would have been to watch the series. We all knew exactly how it would turn out. We all knew that it wouldn't be very close at all. And I still feel like we kind of know the Golden State Warriors are going to win, but this trade did make the Cleveland Cavaliers better. Isaiah Thomas, like I said, is currently better than Kyrie Irving is. They added Jay Crowder, who was a huge upgrade than anything they had coming off their bench. Speaking of their bench, they also signed Derrick Rose this summer. So now you have interesting questions heading into the NBA Finals about how this new Cavs team can stack up against the Golden State Warriors too? How will Isaiah Thomas perform in the NBA Finals? That dude has the heart of a champion of a freaking lion, so you know he's about to show up in the NBA Finals. He's about to show up and show out in the NBA Finals. I'm excited to see that. How would Derrick Rose perform coming off the bench against the Golden State Warriors? The Cavs got a huge boost in their bench. It won't be the same as it was last year, and that will make it watchable. Now it's like, all right, the Warriors are still the favorites to win, but I want to see what kind of fight this new Cleveland team can put up. Before this trade, even though the Cavs had signed Rose, there would be absolutely no point of watching. Straight up, there would have been no point of watching the series whatsoever. It would have been one of the driest NBA Finals, and that's high key. Those are the main two reasons I say that this was great for the NBA, just because it will make the playoffs much more tolerable than they were last year. Because let's face it, last NBA season was lit. That season was crazy. That season was great with Russell Westbrook, James Harden, all this crazy stuff was going down last season. Records being broken left and right. However, when it came to the playoffs, it was extremely dry. This year, however, that is about to change. The playoffs will be more interesting, and that's why this was the best thing that could have ever happened to the NBA. Last season would have been like one of the best in the NBA history had it not been for the dry playoff series. This year is looking like it's about to be the same as last year, except with some great playoff series. Other than that though, I kind of mentioned it earlier in this video, but now you're gonna see players like Isaiah Thomas also be a free agent, which will be interesting too. It'll add more excitement. Where will he end up? Because I'm not gonna lie, before this trade, I always just assumed he was going to re-sign with the Boston Celtics. He might have been an unrestricted free agent, but I just didn't feel like that was the case. He said he wanted to play there. I didn't see any reason why Boston would just let him go, so I just assumed that they were going to re-sign him. And it also confirms to us that LeBron James is gone too. Before this, there were still some people having some questions about whether or not he will leave, but now no one sees why he would stay. So now we really have to start asking ourselves, where will he end up in the summer of 2018? And then you also look at a player like Kevin Love. The Cavs are most likely gonna start looking to trade Kevin Love, because if both LeBron and Irving are gone, why on earth would you keep Kevin Love? You're gonna look to trade him for some more young assets. And regardless of what you think about Kevin Love, you still have to remember that this man is freaking Kevin Love. Right now, he's just getting the Chris Bosh treatment. Anytime you're the third option on a team like the Cavaliers, you're gonna have to expect the numbers dip off a bit like Kevin Love's have. But still, even as a third option, he was able to put up 20 and 11 last year. So I know a lot of teams around the league would still love to get their hands on Kevin Love. So because of this trade, we can also expect yet another crazy NBA offseason next summer. Maybe even as crazy as this offseason, even though this offseason was like the craziest offseason in sports history. I just said the word offseason like 5 times in 20 seconds. But for the most part, that's it. That's all I gotta say. The NBA season needs to start right now. We've waited long enough, and it doesn't help that opening night, October 17th, we had the Boston Celtics versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, and after this trade went down, it just needs to happen right now. We need to see these guys go at each other right now. Question of the day time though, what are your initial thoughts about this trade? Are you guys excited about a possible Cavalier-Boston Celtic matchup in the Eastern Conference Finals? I've never been this excited about the Eastern Conference Finals for a long time. Let me know down in the comment section below, but now let's take a look at what you guys said in yesterday's video. And yesterday, after the rookies did that survey type thing, asking who they think is going to win Rookie of the Year, who's the most athletic, stuff like that, I asked you guys if you agree with who the rookies said would do certain things, and here is what you said. Who voted for Kyle Kuzma for Rookie of the Year over Tatum, Monk, Fox, and more? Sleeping on is just not enough to describe how much people are overlooking Milos Teodosic as the best rookie in the NBA. I think it's just because most people haven't even seen Teodosic play yet. A lot of players were being slept on in that draft, especially players like Ben Simmons, Milos Teodosic, De'Aaron Fox. Just a lot of players were being heavily disrespected. But at the same time, you do have to agree with a lot of things that they were saying. For example, Dennis Smith Jr., most athletic, Josh Jackson, best defender, stuff like that. No brainers, they picked right. And the rookie class is just yet another reason why I'm so excited for this upcoming NBA season. But that's it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until tomorrow, remember to always keep getting them buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!